Shelley, you can't have him back yet. We still need him. But he has a detailed plan for snow and ice response, for making sure we are pre-treating our bridges and our overpasses and clearing main roads and making sure our essential services can move about town without interruption. They've stocked all the equipment, and I do want to personally thank Terry Ball, to Tim, to Leon, and all the teams to make sure that we can have a city that's very much functional no matter how bad the weather is. On the emergency management side of things, very proud to be joined here by Chief Larson, Commissioner Laura Roberts, who is also our emergency management director right now until we get somebody to fill that role fully. They do an amazing job making sure we're able to respond to calls and needs that people have all across this community. So, Chief, I really appreciate you and the department, whether it be rain, sleet, snow, Father's Day storms, whatever it might be. The Tulsa Police Department stands ready to serve citizens no matter what challenges is out in front of us as a community. I also want to note, we mentioned this last night in the State of the City. Earlier this year, signed an executive order that talked about shelter capacity, very specifically around winter weather shelter capacity. We had a goal to get a winter site set up by November of this year, and I'm proud to announce that'll be open on Monday and will run through the end of March. It's a 24/7 operation. It's pet friendly. Make sure that as we face winter weather, we're not scrambling like we have in years in the past. We're very much prepared to take care of the folks who rely on those services. I'll also say before I pass it over to Tim, want to remind everybody out there to make sure that they are prepared. You know, do what you need to do as we prepare for winter weather to make sure that everybody in your household has what they need so you don't get kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Second, if you're able, please do as Tulsans always do. If you have things that you can donate, whether it be clothes or food, I want to encourage you to do it. If you have something that you think somebody might need, the answer is probably yes, they do need it. And so a way that we can really come together as a community to make sure people are taken care of. And finally, we talk a lot in this community about the importance of neighborhoods and community. And so as you're looking at your neighbors across the street, whether it's an elderly neighbor who needs some help getting to the mailbox, or neighbors who just need some additional support, it's going to be really critical that we work hard to take care of each other. And I mention that not because it's outside of what we always do. I actually mention it because it's a point of pride in this community. So I say first, just like you do on the airplane, get your mask on first, right? Take care of yourself first. Then if you need to, if you have things to donate, help our friends all across this community, and thirdly, make sure we help the people closest to you. So with that, I just want to reiterate that we are not only prepared this year as we always are to make sure that our infrastructure is going to be in a good spot, but this year we're even more prepared because we have our winter weather shelter up and going, which is a first for us here in Tulsa. So with that, I'm going to introduce Tim McCorkle, who thinks this is his last press conference on winter weather. I'm going to say, I don't know, maybe I don't have any power to do this, but Tim, if I got to sign your papers, I'm going to lose them in the file cabinet. All right, Tim.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say all this couldn't take place and be addressed and taken care of that good without the help of Leon Craigle, my ops manager. He stays on top of it very much, deals with the mechanics, all the other divisions that takes part in making this possible. We use several divisions throughout the city to assist with the removal of the snow and ice. So this year we've got about 9,000 tons of salt on hand at this time. We've got 66 truck-mounted spreaders in our trucks, and of those 66, 53 of them have snow plows on them. We also have 4 LAS systems, which is our liquid applicator systems for putting our brine material down, and we got over 75,000 gallons of brine on hand at this time. Also this year we're going to add some calcium chloride, which is a new liquid we're trying out. We'll put that in with the brine mixture. The brine will work down to about 15 degrees. Adding the 32% calcium chloride can get us down to about -15 or -17 right in there. So we're looking at that as going to be a big help because we do a lot of the brine work on the bridges, hills, overpasses, all our elevated areas, which we do those first to assist with keeping the ice off the roadway for the patrons when they're traveling. Like I said, all this takes place with the help of a lot of the other divisions. We use the streets, stormwater, parks, our mechanics. Sometimes we add in the sewer department, borrow some trucks from water. I mean, so it's everybody, traffic, they all come together, and takes about 210 employees around the clock to make this happen. So look forward to addressing the streets again for the citizen. It's always been a pleasure to do this. It hasn't been quite 500 years, but it's been 25. And so who knows, maybe 26, but I'm looking at 25 right now. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.
That was big news, people. Did you hear that? I heard I am not retiring from Tim. You guys heard it. That's the highlight of the day. If anybody has any questions for me, for Tim, for Terry, for Chief Larson, happy to answer those.
I just had a quick question that I remember during one of the community conversations you had, you were talking about pipe infrastructure and how some of them could be older than others. And one of the things that happens in cold weather, obviously, is pipe rupturing. And I'm wondering if you or somebody could explain kind of the logistics of being prepared for maybe this pipe is probably going to burst rather than this one. What's kind of the planning that goes around that?
I'm gonna tell you, I'm not the person to respond to that, but I'm gonna Terry.
That's actually our water and sewer department, but they do have a asset management system that they know where the older pipes are. So they monitor that. One, they try to get them replaced before they do that, but they also know if that does. They have crews ready to go, same thing. They also have backup contracts with local contractors that if you had a really bad winter event and the crews get overloaded, they can bring in contractors to help them do pipe repairs. And we've had to do that in the past. There's been 2 or 3 winters I can think of where that's happened. And then from that standpoint, then our department comes out behind them and fixes the roads, all during that winter weather event. So.
Probably for Chief Larson, as far as when we get more of the winter weather, not just rain, but when we get in these in Operation Slick Streets kicks in, what's the best reminder for residents when there are accidents on the roadways and TPD's response time?
Well, the first one is, unless it's an injury accident, certainly if you can, move your cars off the road and get them to a safe parking lot or an adjacent side street, because while you remain on the road, you're a danger to cars that are probably experiencing the same things that cause your car to crash. So move the cars off the road. Almost all of the non-injury accidents can be handled by going to tpd.org, and you can fill out the electronic form, submit it to the city, you file the report, and then submit that report to your insurance department. We want to make sure we don't leave people out in the elements. So all of our cars now, since about 2016 forward, are all-wheel drive. We haven't had a police car stuck since the great snowstorm back about in the early 2000s. So I think we're prepared to meet any challenges out there and do the same thing we do. Give the Mr. McCorkle's crews time, go into work an hour late, talk to your boss, say let's let the street crews have a chance to clear the main thoroughfares through the city and then go into work, because that first crucial hour or two after the sun comes up gives Mr. McCorkle's crews time to make the streets passable. So let's give them that breathing room.
Mr. Mayor, can you talk a little bit about last-minute preps for the shelter opening Monday? Anything important about it?
No, it's ready to go. And Emily Hall is here, our senior advisor for homelessness. It's ready to go. I mean, it's been some time in the making. It's at a site that has served folks who are in house for quite some time. Be Heard's been there with some of the day programming. So they're ready to roll. And so we're really excited about it. I think last minute prep is just maybe making sure we got sufficient restrooms and things like that. But it's all ready to go. We're certainly ready for the 80-degree weather tomorrow. But come Monday, it'll be fully operational and ready to serve folks.
Can you talk a little bit about the importance of that going into the winter months?
Critically important, so last year, I mentioned this last night in the State of the City. Last year, not long after I took office, temperatures got down to, I think, a negative 11, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere way down there, which is obviously way past life-threatening. And we had to scramble, and there's 1,400 people who needed a place to stay. And Rose Bowl, for example, was one of those. It's not typically a shelter. That was an emergency site that we won't have access to this year. But Emily and I went and visited every last one of them, and we saw folks who were there. Folks that if it weren't for those emergency sites would not have probably survived. And those weren't things that were planned up until then. So it is a life-saving shelter this winter. I'm very proud that we were able to keep the commitment to get something open in November. But it's a lifesaver. I mean, it's critically important. I'll also say what I learned last year is it's not just people who are unhoused who rely on those things when it's cold. It's some folks who cannot afford to warm the house that they live in. So this is certainly about our neighbors who are unhoused, but it's also about people who have a hard time getting by. Shelter's critical for support on both ends.
Thanks, everyone.
Just one more thing.
Okay, real
Yeah,
quick.
just real quick, this is off topic from the winter weather, but I know you mentioned early in the State of the City address regarding the council sending back the sales tax and the hotel motel tax. I'm just wondering, since last night, if you had any conversation with council for their reasons?
No, not yet. I mean, I've heard some of the reasoning. I think, some folks say it's a timing deal or whatever, and I think they got some holidays where some of them are going to be gone over the next couple of months. My position has always been these are critical issues facing this community. They've been facing this community for a long time. I don't think we need any additional time, but I understand they have some processes that they want to go through. So we're going to give them the space to begin to figure that out. But my team and this administration, I think the people across this community are eager for the counselors to not waste any time. There's resources that are there for obviously homelessness, for public safety, for making sure we're investing in young people, making sure we're investing in our economy and our city employees. It's critically important we get it done. So no, I have not talked to them yet. I'm interested to hear what kind of process they may set up. But the time and the clock is ticking. And I think it's far past time we take action. Last thing I'll say is just a deep amount of appreciation for city employees. Those that will be out when it's cold, those that are out right now, they do a very difficult job every day of the week. And I'm not sure any of them are watching, but I'm saying for the folks who are watching, if you get an opportunity to run across somebody who is a police officer, firefighter, works in public works, works in the permitting, wherever it is, join me as we go through the holiday season thanking city employees because they do a tremendous job for us every single day. Thank you, guys. We'll be in here, I guess, here pretty soon. It's freezing.
Yeah, we haven't made our official winter forecast yet. Usually
Was
we
it
ask them.
Chick-fil-A that came in last year and they were? Oh no, or was it Whataburger?
We did water.